All right, hello everyone. My name is Danielle Slatt, and I am a first grade teacher at Hershey, Pennsylvania. Just about 2 short weeks ago, I was hired due to the need to add an additional first grade teacher. And when I got into my room, it was bare bones, as you can see. So I've had my work cut out for me, but I'm definitely getting there. All right, a little bit more about me. A big goal I gave myself 2 years ago was that I wanted to travel to somewhere I've never been each summer. So, following that goal, here is a picture of me and my fiance at the Grand Canyon this past summer. Another big thing about me is that I'm a big jet skier. Over the summer, I went almost every weekend on the rivers around me. I was proud of myself because I finally got a hitch on my car so I could pull our jet ski around. Finally, I am a big dog lover. I have a 12-year-old golden retriever that I absolutely love and can't believe how much she still acts like a puppy. Now, moving on to my previous online experiences. So far in my master's program, I have taken about half of my classes online, so that's about 5 classes. I have not taught any online classes as an elementary teacher. Through my experience as a student, the biggest thing that first and foremost sticks out to me is that I feel like I spend way more time doing stuff for an online course than a course that meets face to face. I think this is because I just don't have that set 3 hour class a night, so I'm constantly logging on, reading to stay up to date in fear of missing out on something due to not having that face to face reassurance. I also can tell a huge difference between my online classes based on how the teacher sets the tone in the beginning. And I really think these get to know you activities are great and really foster a feeling of being in actual class. I also feel like teacher response is a big thing for me in my online classes. All of my teachers I've had so far have made it a point to be very timely, and it really does make a difference. Okay, now to the first question about good teaching being good teaching. Overall, I do believe good teaching is good teaching because no matter what kind of teacher you are, as long as you are striving to be the best you can and giving it your all, I think that you can be a good teacher. Also, all teachers have that same goal in mind. An online teacher wants their students to grow and succeed, just like a face to face teacher does. So, no matter how you teach, you still want the same things. This relates to the fact that good teaching is good teaching because it all comes down to the same endpoint with just a little bit different path. Or in this, it could be a big different path. Different skill sets are required depending on the form of teaching, so while both kinds of teachers can still be good at what they do. These skill sets just need to be zoned in on and constantly improved to meet the specific needs of the population that's being taught. Both teachers need to be constantly engaged in some kind of professional development. So it's not just for online teachers, it also includes face to face teachers. There's always something new for us to learn. All right. The next question asks about some challenges of online teaching that I would like to learn more about. And as I read that article, right off the bat, I would love to know how online teachers manage time constraints. How do you teach each and every child as an individual and give them their own curriculum? How do you make that work? How do you put that time in there to do that? Also, positive relationship building is major for me. So, what is the best way to build that online community so that students are in turn motivated to learn? What does classroom management look like for an online first grade student? Since I'm a first grade teacher, I try to picture it, if I was teaching this class online, what exactly would it look like? Um, and what if I have a student that's not engaged in the material or maybe they just aren't really good at using the technology to meet with me online or to do their work online? How do you handle that? What exactly do you do? Okay. Question 3 asks what my hopes are for online teaching. And I would really hope to build a strong online community where my students feel like they personally know me, even though we may not meet face to face. I would also hope that they would pick up on my passion for teaching, which can in turn kind of help build that positive relationship. Another hope for online teaching is that I could master how to differentiate instruction through an online format. It seems challenging to me in some ways if students are not motivated easily through the computer. Overall, an overarching goal is that I would want to be able to master the use of technology to help answer any tech questions I could have and to always kind of try new apps or strategies to kind of be on top of it in online teaching. All right, some qualities that I would love to share with my students include how I build strong student connections, This fosters a huge sense of a safe classroom where my students, they feel supported, and it makes them really want to participate. As stated in my hopes for online teaching, I would also like to share my, this big quality of enthusiasm for teaching. I have a can-do attitude that shines bright on my students and is something I hope I could transfer to online students. All right. Finally, when looking at the online video commercials and the online teaching standards, I did notice there was some lining up on using individualized instruction. The videos really push the fact that each student will have their own learning path suited to meet their specific needs. While I feel like the standards were not as specifically linked to that huge theme overall, um, in the videos of making the curriculum around each student on their own, there are standards for kind of reaching out to each student. Standard B discussed using technology in specific ways based off of the student needs, while Standard C stressed importance of using differentiated instruction. And then also Standard F talked about making accommodations to reach varied talents and skill sets. And I think that those three standards kind of lead to a path of specific individualized learning, but I don't think it's enough like the videos stressed it was. Okay. And one huge aspect that was stated in that, it was the kindergarten through 12th grade online video. The very first one that I watched was that parents can sit, whether it be through the phone or something, parents talk with the teachers and develop their plan with their teacher on what their child will do. So that's kind of like sitting down with the parent and going over the curriculum and planning it out together. I didn't find anything really like that in the standards. The closest standard I could find that even related to that was that the teachers need to establish and maintain communication with parents. Then there was the standard J about providing ongoing communication with parents concerning student learning. And really, none of those standards state that a teacher has to know how to sit down with a parent and plan the child's whole curriculum, So how do you go about sitting down, accepting their ideas or telling them, okay, maybe that won't work so well, but maybe we'll try this. I don't really see any of that in the standards to help a teacher sit down with a parent. Okay, and yes, that is it. So thank you for listening to my presentation. I look forward to the discussion.